In this video, we're going to be building a low poly camera in Blender. This is a great beginner project for practicing basic shapes and proportions and adding details without getting overwhelmed. If you want to follow along with me, all you have to do is click on the link in the description and that will bring you to our starter project, which is a project that has textures and all kinds of things set up that will just make this a little bit easier for you, okay? Here is our reference image. This is kind of what we're going for. We're not going to make it nearly as detailed as this. We're just going to use this for inspiration, okay? So let's start with this cube. I'll hit Tab on the keyboard, and let's make this roughly the shape of the camera here. Let's say SX to make it skinnier, SZ to make it shorter. Yeah, SX again. Yeah, something like that. All right, I think that's about right. Cool. Now, any kind of major things we should probably change. Let's actually hit Control R and make a ring. Control R to make a ring. There we go. And bring it up like this, just so we can add a little bit of adjustment there. I'll hit 3 on the keyboard to grab this and just scale it down a little, just so we have a little bit of difference there on the top. Great. I think everything else is pretty much the same. Okay, cool. What is going on with this? Why is that out like that? Why is that all janked out like that? I don't know why that is. I guess it isn't. It just looks that way. That's really strange. Okay, whatever. All right. Scale it down. There we go. And so that's going to be kind of our main camera body. And I think we could probably call that good. Let's make the button up here. I'll hit Shift A, Mesh, Cube. And let's just scale this cube down, GZ, like this. And edit mode, grab this and scale that down. All right, there we go. There's our button. And let's put that in a place that makes sense. Something like that. All right, there's our button. That looks cool. Now let's do the lens. This is going to be the most kind of telling factor of this camera. Shift A, Mesh, Cylinder. So the default cylinder has 32 vertices. Let's actually make it like 24 instead, just a little bit less. And let's rotate it on Y, 90 degrees. There we go. This little menu pops up after you make a object, and it only shows up right after you make the object. If you click off, it's gone forever. So if you want to change the subdivisions and everything for this cylinder, you want to do it there. Okay, Tab, S, and yeah, that looks pretty good. GX to bring this out, and I'm just going to kind of inset that there like this. And let's bring this down, GZ. Yeah, something like that, maybe just a touch bigger, somewhere in there. Remember, we're not making this exact camera, we're just getting inspired by it. And so let's make kind of the outer ring there, and then let's inset this, and then extrude it again. And then maybe we'll do that another time. Extrude again, there we go, inset. And then let's extrude that in a little bit like that. Yeah, inset, extrude out, inset, extrude down. There we go. So now we have a very telling camera. It very much looks like a camera. Right click and say Shade Auto Smooth there. And yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. Now, depending on how detailed you want this camera and how much geometry you want to mess with, you could bevel this and do all kinds of stuff. In fact, this is such a simple shape. Let's just go ahead and bevel it. I'm going to hit A for all of these faces, and I'll hit 2 on the keyboard, and then hit Alt, Shift, and select just that ring, because I don't want to bevel that ring, but I want to bevel pretty much everything else. Control B for bevel, and that's going to soften those edges a little bit, and we'll just bevel that with 1, maybe 2. Yeah, somewhere in there. We'll make just a nice little bevel there. Yes, see, that looks intentional and nice. Now, if we want to look through this, we could do that a few different ways here. And now actually kind of looking at this, I don't know if this is tilted in this way. I think it's just maybe the back that's tilted that way. And so maybe we want to, let's grab our proportional editing here and grab this face, and let's just kind of undo that, at least on this axis. So S, Y, and I'm gonna scale this down and kind of bring this back out like that. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody will ever notice or care, but yeah, we kind of fixed that. I think what is happening though is this edge comes in a little bit. So let's G, X, and we're going to bring this way. And I have this proportional editing, so I'm not just moving this edge, it's kind of dragging the other edges along with it. And yeah, I think something like that looks good. All right, somebody who's a camera expert is going to be like, dude, the camera doesn't even look like that. What are you talking about? Well, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. All right, let's make this whole. Now, there's a bunch of tricky ways to do this. You can use Booleans, you can use all kinds of stuff. I want to keep this really, really simple. So what I'm going to do is hit Control R to make a ring. And let's drag this here, and that's going to be kind of the left side of the hole. All right, so somewhere in there. I'm going to do it again. Control R, this is going to be the right side of the hole. Control R, this is going to be the top. Control R, this is going to be the bottom. All right, so that's kind of the hole. Now, to make this, we're going to use a really tricky thing. I'm going to hit 3 on the keyboard to select faces. I'm going to select this face, and hit X, and delete the faces. That's going to make a literal hole here, but you're also going to be able to see inside of this shell, and it's not quite going to be what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in these edges by selecting the edges, hitting 2, select this edge, and just going to kind of bridge this by hitting F for fill. Same thing on the top, Shift, select both of these, F for fill. And now I'm going to select this as well as all of these edges, F for fill, just like this on both sides. It's not too hard to do this, and it's a really clean way to do it. F on the keyboard, there we go. So now we have this as an actual cut-through hole for our camera, and that looks pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, I like that a lot. So we could add more details there if we want to, but I mean, that's a pretty good looking camera, I'd say. Now, the one thing I think we'll do is add some color to this. And we have a cool way to do this. If we go up to the UV editing here, I'll keep this here for now. We have this kind of rainbow texture. And the idea here is that you can map different parts of your image or of your 3D mesh to different parts of this texture. And because there's kind of this color swatch idea, you can just kind of map it to a certain color to colorize it, and then everything in your object can use the exact same texture. It's pretty cool. So what we're going to do, let's go into object mode and just select all of the objects. Actually, first I'm going to grab this here and make sure that we're using the same material on all of our objects here. Great. Now I'm going to select them all. Tab to go into edit mode. A for all. I'm going to look at this down the x-axis, and then I'm going to go to UV's project from view. That's going to take a snapshot of our camera. Get it? That's fun. And we're going to scale this down. I'll make sure that our proportional editing is off. Scale this down. And then let's make this kind of a dark gray, or as someone would call it, almost black. There we go. Great. And that's going to do pretty good for most of our thing here. But I can select certain things that I want to be different colors, like this face right here, and maybe something on the top. Let's just grab something on the top here. So again, remember, it's just kind of inspired, right? Sure. Maybe this side here. And let's grab this and bring it up here to be lighter gray. There we go. See what we're doing? Yes. Okay. This stuff here, we're going to make mostly light gray, so I'm going to just grab all of these and grab them, make them darker or lighter gray. And then we can select this and then hit Control and then plus on the numpad on the keyboard, like this, to select more of these faces. I'll bring those down and make those dark. And let's select this ring. I can hold Alt and select the ring like this. Alt, Select the ring like that. There we go. Make sure I'm selecting this face too. Grab this and bring this down. Make that dark as well. There we go. See? It's a camera, baby. That looks good. That's really exciting. Okay. So now let's take this whole thing, Control J to join it, and then let's switch back to layout. I'm going to get rid of our reference. Make sure we're in texture preview mode here. Very good, very good. And now let's render this. So I'm going to go up here to our outliner and make sure that our filters are turned on. Restriction toggles, turn on this viewport thing. Click on that. Now we have our little studio here for our rendering. This comes with the starter project. And let's look through our camera and bring this camera, too many cameras, confusing, G, Z. Let's bring this up. And we could have this sitting on the ground or we can have it floating. Let's just have it floating. It's more fun when things are floating. And I'll just kind of rotate this. Yeah, that's cool. Cool camera. Let's render this. We already have all of our lighting and everything set. That's pretty sick. I love that. All right. Hey, if you learned a lot, let me know. And if you want to learn more, if you want to learn the basics of modeling in Blender, I have a course called Blender 101. All you have to do is click on the link in the description and you can get signed up instantly. And yeah, it's going to be a really good time. So thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you later.